Hello, welcome back to the Adventures of Aventus. Last we left off, you met a strange new ally here in the Endural Mines. A genie-like fellow who was inhabiting a very heavily armored minotaur. After a short conversation with him and finding out that he is some sort of ancient arbiter of knowledge and has been in this place updating his archives, quote unquote, he told you that he was looking for a new vessel. And after a short deliberation and dropping a large minotaur onto a mushroom, he has decided to come along with Eos. After a harrowing combat with a mimic nearly eating Sal whole, the entity known as Wiser helped you find the end of the path down here to the Plutonium, or the gate to the underworld in Latin. Here is where you have just observed and realized that this might be one of the people you were sent to find. And this strange glowing green orb up in this web made of darkness and light, just shining down, green light undulating, not just over him, but over the surrounding area here. It just glows ominously. And I believe Eo said, we're gonna have to get him back. What are you guys doing in this moment?
At the very end of last session, I suggested I think maybe we should use those sending stones to contact, what was his name who had the other one? The guy who led us
Duncan.
here? Duncan. Yeah, I think maybe we should contact him and...
Oh, I got a better figure for him. This is a Tandraida figure. He's frozen. He's got his hand splayed up, looking at the web. I believe the other sending stone is on Moore.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you guys did agree to do that. But there's a couple of
Mhm.
things to deal with here. There is the catatonic individual holding his hand up. There is the glowing orb, and there's the two friends of his that he says are in the dungeon, currently more comfortable than he is.
Yeah. And Weiser said that they were alive, right? But like in a catatonic trance state, is that right?
He said that they were definitely like catatonic, but their bodies are somehow being preserved. They've been standing here for months.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely the entire 6 months since they disappeared.
Yeah.
Has there been any kind of is there anything here showing that this might be linked to what we're dealing with, the Pale?
It looks like there is webs on this.
Well, okay, so I want you to realize that, there is a limitation in the system. This is a backdrop, but I want you to imagine that this is not silken web. It is a web that looks like hardened shadows that come to small points of light in the conglomerized areas in the center, where it looks like there's little beads of light, and suspended between these shadow tendrils there is a green glowing orb. It is it is smaller than this one. It's probably about the size of I want to say a basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, looking at the area, you don't know what you're looking at. You can notice that there is a passageway behind this structure that leads further into the Underdark. like Wiser had told you of, that this is maybe just a mostly ornamental structure here that this
Mm-hmm.
thing has been placed in. Placed by what? You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
New
look.
hand
Is
touches the
Wiser
beacon.
still out there with us, right?
He's currently just observing and looking around. He did very recently talk to you, just a second ago, in fact, about measuring how far this figure here has moved with the metal apparatus standing beside him and the chalk marks on the ground. And he's just sort of absentmindedly mentioned that he's a Tandraidan, thinking that's who you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
He
A
hasn't said
really,
anything about the orb yet.
a really important question. Have you touched these webs yet? Do we know if it's safe?
No, I have not. To be honest, I was a little worried about what might happen if I examine that thing very thoroughly. I have several precautions I take. Went off on my own updating the archives. 1, don't mess with anything that looks like it's the egg of an evil god. 2, not as important as the first one, so I forgot it.
Hmm.
That first one was very specific. You want to elaborate a little?
Doesn't it kind of look like an egg to you? It's a little oblong shaped. He looks up at it.
It's kind of looks like a big pearl.
Hmm.
Well,
Probably-
I did look at it a little bit and did some research. I believe its magic is what's responsible for the catatonia of the Tandraidans.
I think Sal is probably gonna go up to the dwarf, kind of examine him a little bit.
Okay.
See if maybe he might have some kind of the symptoms of the pale also.
Yeah, Runa's gonna come and look as well. And
Yes,
maybe like,
you-
can
you
we
might-
can we feel if he's breathing also?
You look at him. It does appear as he is breathing. Yeah, he is alive, standing still. But he doesn't appear to have any wounds on him. He doesn't appear to have the pale. He just looks like he's frozen. It almost might
Okay.
look like he's even acting like he's frozen. He looks like he's perfectly standing there. But you do notice a layer of dirt that has settled on his hair and on his beard and on his nose and face. Like he hasn't wiped it or blinked in a very
Sal
long
is
time.
gonna reach up and poke his cheek.
Yeah,
Any reaction?
His cheek gives way. There's no reaction whatsoever.
Is
Like, is his
touchy.
skin warm?
Yes.
Okay. Will, can Rune Eye try using a gaze of two minds to see if I can perceive through his senses and maybe get an idea of what he's stuck in or experiencing?
It has to be a willing creature, and he cannot be willing or unwilling in the state he's in.
Okay. I didn't know
So
if
you
maybe he
cannot.
had some consciousness and, he may not be able to verbally give that, but I didn't know if maybe he was aware but locked inside his mind, maybe could.
Wiser has mentioned that he hasn't moved him, and that he hasn't moved, even though he put up the things to measure whether or not he was moving.
Mhm.
And you do notice that his eyes are fixed on the orb at the center of the web.
Mhm.
While I'm poking him, one of the claws are gonna come out, and I'm gonna poke him a little bit more and draw blood. What comes out? Is it blood? Does anything come out?
Yes. He appears to bleed as normal.
Okay.
Well, he is still human, at least.
Okay, Runeye's gonna take his paws and cover his eyes so he's not looking at the orb anymore. See if there's any shift or change.
You do that. Wiser kind of pipes up. He's like, I did try obscuring their sight. As I had said, 2 of them are in a dungeon on the other side. of this mine, so they're obviously not looking at it. I don't think that it matters. This is the control. I wanted to see if maybe he came out of it any earlier, or perhaps degraded into a worse state. Um, Nothing's happened so far. I've
The
been doing the
others.
research for about 2 weeks.
Okay. The others, are they still in a catatonic, trance-like state currently?
Yes.
Okay.
And you said you haven't touched any of this yet.
Yes, correct. I haven't touched it. I have been in the books for a while, reading on it.
As he says that, I turn around, I reach out, and I grab one of the tendrils, I guess, one of the webs or whatever, and just see if I can touch it.
Roll a wisdom saving throw.
That's a 22.
For a moment, you hear a buzzing noise and your vision goes dark. As you touch the web, you immediately, instinctually jerk back from it.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah. Don't touch it.
Okay. I think I'll have more just kind of like side eye you when you say don't touch it, and she's gonna pull out her mage hand to go and touch the orb.
Okay. She is able to do so without much effort. She's even able to move the orb from within the web. It doesn't look like it's tangibly held there.
Mm-hmm. So, would she be able to pull it out of this area? Maybe like remove it from inside this gateway out
It
towards
looks like
us?
you would be able to do that. She can move it pretty freely.
Okay, then that's what she's gonna do. She's gonna pull it out and see if it disconnects anything. Any connection.
Okay. She pulls the orb down. I'm just gonna like do my thing here. It does not do anything at first when she first pulls it away from the web, but only after about 10-15 seconds of her pulling the orb out, the web starts to dissipate. The little white lights in the clustered areas of the web wink out, and the tendrils of shadow dissipate. Look like they will leak into the walls surrounding the area.
Okay.
So there's
that was
no
odd. Were they there or not? It just vanished.
She's holding the orb out in the midst of the party, at arm's length. Nobody's like thoroughly examined it yet.
Well,
Wiser.
Wizard, what do you think?
He says, from what research I've made on the subject, I've come to an unclear end. Or might just be an evil artifact, somehow reawakened once it had intelligent minds to observe it. Or it might be the extension of a larger problem. Texts of Tandraida is a historical book set around the time of the king's madness. It speaks of the king's mad worship of the one who lies between. In ancient Dwarvish, the one who lies between is pronounced Adheg Lagutak. In later translations, that could also mean the one between. Later in Dwarvish, the suffix adding the connotation that it lies, as in lies in the truth-telling sense, or lies in wait of prey, to come across is dropped. But I'm getting ahead of myself. What I'm getting at here is there's no definitive proof it ever existed, outside the accounts of people saying that they had heard it speak to them. Alongside those accounts, there are records of discoveries the Tandraidans had made, of a civilization even older than their own, perhaps. strange orbs and artifacts of magical nature that seem to be beyond the craft of even their expertise. So, perhaps the one who lies between and these strange artifacts are related.
That sounds like a lot of guessing, but we know that what we have is right in front of us.
I would
So,
like to suggest again that perhaps we use the sending stone to contact Duncan to see if perhaps when they, lived here or resided here, that maybe they know a little bit more about what this was used for their purposes, or plus we need to let them know.
I don't imagine those Tandraidans know much. They're all sort of backwoods. They don't have much accurate information. Over the last few hundred years, they've deluded themselves into a very paranoid state, and they keep themselves secluded. I don't think he's going to have any answers for you, dear. But I'll also remind you that that sending stone only works once a day, so if you call him, you might want to tell him where we're at.
yeah, we've got a lot of information to put through that.
Who should be the messenger then?
Does anybody want to examine the orb closely?
I do. I would like to.
Absolutely not.
I think
Yeah,
since
Sal's getting right
I
up
think-
there with it.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think
Sal,
since
Runai.
more also, since she pulled it down, is gonna want to look too. So probably all three of us will do an examination.
So Moore and Runai, I want you guys to roll wisdom saving throws.
Okay, let me pull up her page. Okay, hold on. Okay, where is her wisdom?
What about you, Eos? Are you wanting to examine it?
Yeah, I think I'll do it as well, just since I'm kind of
Okay, I'll roll your roll for you.
yeah.
Okay,
Do you want to use your inspiration dice on this roll? Yes.
Yeah, actually.
Okay.
Okay, Moore got a nat. Well, no, not a nat 20. No, she got a 20, and Runai got a 7.
Okay. All right. So, Moore, Sal, Runai, Eos, you all gather close to the orb. Looks as if it's made of glass, but it's glowing so brightly. It's hard to tell. You guys kind of put your hands on it, start feeling on it. When you examine the strange orb, the brightness of its glow nearly blinds you. But in the blindness is not darkness, but sound. You hear what sounds like a grand cathedral hall, echoing with the noises of the night. Chittering, screeching, creaking, insectoid noises. It's meaningless. A sound common enough to be mundane. But the sound isn't natural, and it's a choir of chaos. Hold on, I'm not done yet. This choir of chaos seems to sound from within your own mind. It echoes off the walls of your psyche, searching for a way out. You believe you can nearly feel them. You feel fluttering moth wings against your cheeks. You feel the prickling of black legs by the dozens beginning to crawl up your arms. Now hundreds. They're no longer on your skin but under it, digging for a way deeper still. You realize, in the reverence of that psychic invasion, that you are actually blind now, in utter and total blackness, listening to the insects' call. Everyone but Runai, you start. Vision clearing, sound fading away. Prickling and painful digging ceased. You stand watching the orb and look back at your companions. You notice that Runai is in a catatonic state, staring at it still.
Oh no.
So there's a good chance this is our link to the Pale. But I think our friend might have dug a little too deep.
Curiosity got the rat. Oh, that's a bad timing. So Wiser, we have an issue. Yeah.
I'm gonna lean down to Runai, kind of tap his cheek a little bit. Hey, buddy, you still with us?
There's no response.
No response.
You just see the glowing rune eye reflecting more green light than normal as it stares into the orb.
Whatever he's got in that space of his is able to help him do this. Anybody got any? You all have magic. Anybody got anything to help with this? I mean, I can hit him, but I don't think that will help any.
Probably not.
I've tried quite a few different things to resuscitate the others, and nothing seems to work. The only thing I've theorized that could possibly work would be to destroy this thing.
But it just. If we break it, something worse could happen.
True.
I mean, I'm down.
Of course you are. Sit down and shut up.
Just saying, I'm offering my services.
Not needed. Not necessary. Please.
Well, what is the alternative? We take this thing along with us once we leave here and hope that it doesn't make everyone else we show it into this catatonic state? Are we supposed to drag the 3 Tandraidans and your Runai friend all the way back to civilization? I think that destroying it might be our only choice here.
There's gotta be, like, something. Like, someone.
The question is, why did it only do this to Runai? We all touched it.
Because Runai is a curious fellow and probably did too much more than they thought they were.
I mean, I touched the webs before anybody did.
You're also stupid.
Yeah, you got that. More? Any? What's your thoughts on this? Do you want to break a magical artifact too?
Oh, I'm trying to think what she would do. I think she'd
Turn around and walk away.
maybe. I mean, but I don't know. I kind of feel like
She'd want to keep it.
Yeah, she might want to keep it, or she'd also, I don't know. I feel like she'd be either one. She'd either want to keep it to study it, or she'd want to break it to study it to see what happens.
Ruth, what about you? You've kept your distance from this. You don't want to see it survive out here in these safe places, right? You want to protect everything from whatever this evil is.
I think we don't know what this is, necessarily.
You're no fun.
I think we're making a lot of assumptions and hoping that the right thing happens, but we don't really know that, do we? This is beyond all of our expertise, if we're being honest.
Well, I'm not afraid to be wrong. You know what they say, if you're not wrong at least twice a day, you're doing nothing right.
Does anybody remember how much time we have left? I think Runai was our counter on this ticking death timer we have. We don't have enough time to make it back to wherever we're going.
Okay, well, it's just that if this breaks, there's a possibility that everyone might die now. Or worse, they don't die, and then they end up living like, well, them forever. ish. I don't know. I'm concerned. I have my thoughts.
Personally, I'd like to keep it for study. It's just we probably have to leave some of these people behind. I don't see us being strong enough to carry them all the way. It's really unfortunate.
Io seems very conflicted right now.
You see Weiser is taking out his book and ink and quill and is writing notes on the orb as he observes it. Now he looks like he's looking at Runai, writing notes on him. Kind of cold and distant. Like he's not really affected by the sudden catatonia at all.
Does Runai look like he's in the same catatonic state as the other guys? Like, is it the same, or is it just kind of slightly off, a different kind of catatonic?
There's only one kind of catatonic, and he is it. It is.
Well, I mean,
there's nothing going on behind his eyes. He is not moving. He is standing there, breathing, alive, but staring.
is he staring at the orb?
Yes, until it's moved, and then he's just staring at the place the orb was.
In my catatonia, do I have any like free thought? I'm just trapped, or like I'm just in pure sensory mode, like just feeling and experiencing what came over me.
You see nothing, and you feel like Oogie Boogie, a bag of bugs.
But do I have any like thought or anything, or it's just feeling?
No, you have no thoughts. No
Mhm.
feelings really either.
Okay.
Well, I think we should smash it, but I feel like I'm outvoted here.
I think Moore would want to break it too.
So, to the three that want to keep it secure, what do you want to do to get it out of here? Because I feel like we're gonna die in the middle of the jungle. We have a ticking time bomb on us. If we go to drop this off, and this pail kills us in the middle of a jungle, where anybody can find this, I feel like that explains itself.
Ah, screw it. They weren't expecting us to come back alive anyways. Let's just get it over with.
I'm gonna grab the orb and I'm just gonna throw it down a pit.
Ah!
I mean, I was thinking we should punch it, but your style works too.
But doesn't it float? Like, would it even
I
go
need you
down
to
there?
roll a wisdom saving throw.
Let's see, it's a plus. Yep. Proficiency
Good.
+3. Please. 17.
You experience what they had. The cacophony of insectoid noises, your mind going blank, vision going dark, but you pull out of it with a start. You're still holding the orb, but it has not put you under its spell.
Will it just float if I let it go?
Yes.
Then I will attempt to smash it on the ground in my hands.
All right. You smash it on the stone flooring. It shatters like glass. Its bright green light goes out in an instant, leaving colorless shards. The arcane emanation that was pouring out of this unholy thing fades. You look to Varnalin and to Runai. You watch their eyes shut. Their bodies go limp and they fall to the ground. Root, Sal, and Eos, your wounds suddenly flare hot with piercing agony. The three of you scream for a moment. After about 10 seconds, or what feels like an eternity, the pain all disappears as quickly as the verdant glow of the orb had. Upon examining your bite wounds, right after coming out of this pain, you'll see that the crystalline sand has turned to a slimy gray liquid.
Oh, that was very much unpleasant. I don't want to experience that again. I think I need to throw up now. Well, maybe not. Oh,
Runai wakes up after a few moments. You haven't been in that state for very long, so you're okay, and you come back to consciousness. But Varnalin over here lays on the ground, unconscious.
Oh, well, that was a little bit easier than I expected. I really thought that would put up a fight. That said, I think this stuff is pussy now.
Eos kind of runs over to the body and checks to see if they're still alive-ish.
He does appear to be breathing.
I'm gonna check on Runai and make sure he's doing okay. Just give him a little pat on the
Yeah.
cheek. Come on, buddy, you good now?
He's kind of like rubbing his skin, like, oh God, and like rubbing his eyes, just like, oh, what a sensation.
You awaken
Eos.
from it like the end of a nightmare, and the memory of it disappears after a few moments.
Yeah, just like rubbing that after effect feeling just from him, like, oh God. Invasive.
Eos starts kind of tapping his cheek like, hey, wake up. You there? Hey.
Yeah,
He,
Runai's gonna head that way too to go look at him.
All right, you guys somewhat surround this guy, start examining him. He's unconscious for a little bit, but after poking him and moving him for a little while, he starts to come to.
Thank goodness.
He kind of says under his breath, where is it? Where is the green light?
Oh, it's all over the floor back there.
He seems to be in a state
Yeah.
of shock.
More importantly, though, how do you feel?
His eyes are kind of fluttering. He realizes that there's a bunch of dirt and debris in his eyes and he cannot see. He starts rubbing them and he's coughing now. There's just so much gross shit coming out of his mouth and nostrils and his eye tear ducts. He is extremely uncomfortable right now.
I'm gonna give
Wiser,
him my water skin and let him have a drink.
Wiser, you want to direct me to these other companions of his while you all take care of this guy? I feel like they're also probably going through the same thing.
Make them some water.
Where's Farah? Where's Dooman?
Are these
They-
your friends?
They are
Yes.
being retrieved. Drink some water, please.
Mm.
They are being retrieved and will be examined shortly as well.
He takes the water skin and just starts gulping it down.
Then settle down, but not too fast. You're gonna choke.
I'm so hungry.